Hello, everyone. My name is Catherine Day, and I'm the founder and CEO and Chief Imagineer of Imagineering to a Better World. So it's Imagine plus engineering, so coming together. So it's having a positive vision for the future and then a practical way to get there. That's really the basis of the whole thing. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate your time today. Today is day one of the 10 days of lives to celebrate the 10 years of anniversary. So basically, I'll explain this again more at the end, but we're going to be looking back a little bit. We're going to be looking at highlights, and then we're either going to be listening to some people talk about the impact, maybe have a guest on for a table talk, and then looking at what's coming up in the future. So today is really exciting. It's looking at what it began as. So basically, back in 2013, I had two dreams, and it was on the early hours of the Friday morning and then Saturday morning of Easter in 2013. And it was like 4.5 hours both nights. And it was like everything was sort of flashing before my eyes in a way. And God was giving me well, I say God, it was just like a divine download. And it was giving me new language for what I'd already been doing for many years. Especially, I recall thinking of when I used to live in East Timor. And one of my jobs was teaching English in the context of especially grant writing for staff at UN agencies. For example, UNICEF, UN Ops, UNFPA, yeah, different ones. And we would look at the past, the present, and the future. And so this was partly of how we could gauge what the English language level was like, but also for me, it was helping them to actually how to write grants because that was part of my background. So, yeah, that's even how we're setting up this one. And so when those those dreams happened, it was like, wow, wow, wow. And it was sort of so basically it came in four steps. So imagine, solution, commit, and partner. And the words Imagineering to a better world. And that was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And so this Saturday, I started a Facebook page and then I started a website. And then on the Sunday, I actually launched it in Perth City. And it was actually under the Creative Ministries as a church event for Resurrection Sunday or Easter Sunday. And so we're just going to have a look back even at couple of videos of the early days back then. And yeah, but also one thing I want us to do tonight is to have a look. So I'm going to do a share screen and actually pull up the right page that I need to be on before I do the share screen. Okay, so let's have a look. We're going to have a look at the website. So Imagineering to a Better World. Don't know what's showing up down there, but we'll just go up here. Okay, so this is the home page. We're just going to scroll straight down. And towards the end, you'll see buttons. So even though quite a bit of this has changed over the years, this is probably the third different design we've had over the last 10 years. But down here, I'm going to have a look at the story. Okay. And here, so just talking about a situation. So I was living in a remote town in 2007. And it was a job that I loved, but I was here. Okay, I'm just going to read this bit. I was in a job that although I loved, I was really enjoyed the challenges on one level, but the workload was overwhelming. Although I loved my home and was almost finished renovating, it was the very first house I'd bought. I'd become increasingly uncomfortable and stressed. There was a house across the road, beautiful young couple with a young bub, but then they split up. And it was like all these guys moved in and they were known as the ice freaks. So it was violence and intimidation and it was not pleasant, especially for a single female. I was trying to do my house up and they'd be sitting out the front and they'd all be you know. Um, Anyone who's been around ice knows it's not a pretty sight. And then I had a phone call from one of my friends, which set the course for the next few years of my life. And she just said, "Do you know what your house is worth?" And we were in an economic boom. And even if what she said was only 10 to 20% true, if I sold and made a profit, I could radically change my life because I'd never wanted to be stuck in a particular situation again. Um, I had been recently bullied at work, and so I felt there was no way out, and I needed to make changes. Otherwise, I would be stuck in this situation. And I won't go into all the ideas there, but I just talk about why was it so bad. Um, and then on the way. So I just, there was a few things there. So I'd been living in different countries, undergone 2 states of emergencies in East Timor and then in Indonesia. And then I was able to come back to Australia. And so I had all the symptoms of suffering from PTSD. And yet, because I was being bullied in the workplace, it was like I survived only to be putting up with stupid bullying. Um, but anyway, I ended up selling my house and I went off for a trip around the world, but only made it as far as Bali, which from Perth is only a 3 hour flight. Um, so I was following my dreams. I was writing, I was blogging, I was learning how to become an internet marketer and all these things. I ended up coming back and doing full-time teaching and then just going down. But I sort of realized, why didn't people really care about all these things that were happening in life? A lot of people's emotions were out of control. And then, what was happening with my finances? And then just still being single, that was, a big embarrassment for me, and not what I had planned. Even in my yearbook, when I was in year 12, I was the person most likely to be married first. Um, but my biggest challenge probably was how to motivate people in positive ways in the world, including reaching out to help others. So, like there's just a list here, how to have people respect you, keep their word, accept responsibility, not follow people who are negative role models and would just lead you astray. Basically, how do you encourage people to grow up? Because if we don't teach the next generation how to accept responsibility for their lives, we end up with a generation of people who do not know what they want, who think they deserve everything and don't have to work for it, and have no integrity, which leads to a society with these dot points: breakdown of the family, disregard for authority in society, an increase in antisocial behaviour, increase in crime, businesses failing due to lack of planning and perseverance, lethargy about working in life, why bother? The increase in addictive behaviors as people want what they want and they want it now. I always think of the character in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Okay, so but basically, life for so many didn't seem to be so much time, didn't seem to be so much fun. But then there was a way forward. I realized that I could actually be part of the solution, that I could change and influence the world around me. And then I wanted to equip others about, learning what I had been learning. And yeah, just going through, I'm not going to go through, read all of this, but it just gives you an idea. But also it explains, going through here, where it all began. So I'll just come out of there. Okay, because I think it's important when we're looking at over the last 10 years, where did it start? So then, and also sometimes we can give a lot of information. So that's quite often why I just go to the website if people want, if you're really interested, go and have a look there later. So we did, so that's how it started. And one of the things that I thought we would do is actually look at even the very basic, what is it? So I'm just going to come back to the website again. So I'm just going to share screen again, and hopefully this will work. Okay. Share screen. Okay. So we're just going to scroll. So this is basically, so we were on the home page and then we're going across to videos and we're just scrolling down. And this one was one of the very first videos.
So first of all, what is Imagineering to a Better World? Okay, it's actually 4 steps. So I'll just write it up here. So it's Imagineering to a better world. Okay, so we've got 2 words, imagine, which is thinking, envisioning. So imagine plus engineering. So it's actually bringing it together. So Imagineering to a better world. So it means that we see it, we can envision it, and then we have the practical steps to work towards it. And there's 4 steps that we can do with that. So the first one is you need to imagine a better world. So you're actually getting a vision. So what does it look like to you? Perhaps what does it even sound like? What can you see? What can you feel? And that will be different for every single person. And just on that, it does not matter if it's about yourself or if it's about the whole world. So some people, for example, may say peace or joy or love. Other people may say no war. So it's really personal. And also it could just be about you. It could be, I really need to have a rest. I need to have a break. Maybe you've been working really hard. Or it could be that you want to have peace in the house. So it's just very different. Or you want to get a new job. So you imagine, so you have your own vision that you're working towards. Step 2 is solution. So what can you do today, this week, or this month towards that? So it doesn't matter, for example, if this is your vision over here, and this is today, and this is your timeline. Okay, it does not matter, so this is right now. It does not matter if you are here, here, or here, as long as you are on the road there and you're making a step. So this one is actually looking at SMART goals. So it needs to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So as an example, if your vision is peace, and this is a common one, peace, a lot of people when they start thinking, okay, what can you do today, this week, or this month towards that? It could be peace in their own home. And sometimes, I don't know why, but for teenagers, it's like, stop hitting my brother, or be nice to my sister. So in marriages, it could be, okay, appreciate my wife more, or learn to communicate better with my husband, be more intimate. So it doesn't matter where you are. So the solution could be, for example, be nicer. But that's quite general, so we need to make it specific. So ones that people have come up with in the past, for example, could be give a genuine compliment daily. Okay, and don't try and make it one that's not real. Make it specific and make it genuine. For example, it could be, wow, you cooked a fantastic breakfast this morning. I really like, whatever it was. Could be, I really like the way you cooked those eggs. Or it could be, thanks, you took out the rubbish today. And I didn't even have to ask. Thank you, I really appreciate that. So again, it doesn't matter how far you are along that. So if this is a peaceful home, so peaceful home life, because even if it's peace, world peace, it starts with each of us, which is just wonderful. So it doesn't matter if we're looking at the whole world, each person has their own world, and when we start coming together, then it means that we're creating a more peaceful world. Then if we take this example, so solution is what can we do today, this week, this month, and then we commit to it. So we would sign it and date it. Okay, and the last one is partner. And you need to put the name of someone you know that can encourage you and hold you accountable. So maybe it's someone who you know that will be into making a better world. Also, that you just say to them, okay, maybe you could email me or SMS me or ask me once a month, how are you going? You said you were going to create a more peaceful life. Have you actually been giving a genuine compliment to your spouse or to your sister or whoever it is each day? And make sure, again, that you're able to tick it off. And then your partner can say, hey, well done. Maybe they even might want to celebrate with you. Really important to celebrate, so you're bringing in the fun aspect of it. And finally, you want to get your partner, you want to encourage them to join it as well. So then your partner creates their own. So they imagine their own vision, they do their own solution and commit, and then they must have another person to be their partner. So in that way, we're getting exponential growth. Okay, I hope that helps, guys. And you will see that more as we go on and we explain. See you in the next video.
Okay, so that's pretty much how it started all those years ago. And I just thought, I'll just double check actually. There may be another video even on the same page. I'll just go back up. Okay, not on this page, but if we go back to the home page, I know we've got one with Nariki. So this is just a demonstration. So this has never changed from the very first time that we did it. So, okay, we'll meet. Hopefully Nariki will come in, but I do have a message from him. But hopefully he might even pop in one day for a table talk. Okay, let's see if this works.
I've started.
Okay, good morning everyone. My name's Catherine Ellis and I'm here today with Nariki Tia.
Okay, that one might not have worked very well with the sound. But basically, that one you probably need to have a headset in to listen. My apologies for that. There's this different videos on here that actually do give examples. Let's see. We've got different video channels many years ago. So let's have a look. What have we got? Okay, not coming up here. Okay, I'll have to jump out and go in and have another look at that and see where a video is. I thought there was one of those on the page that I was actually going to be looking at, but I can bring it up. Hopefully YouTube will work. And so we do have different YouTube channels, which I'll explain, as we go through the week. But this one, this is from day one. Okay, I'll just get this one ready. Now, this one, come back out and we'll just do the share screen. Okay. So this one will have the sound will be really good because it was actually professionally done on a voluntary basis by an old friend of mine who used to run the studio of where I used to work, and even his programs would be on the ABC.
Welcome, happy Easter.
Thank you.
Okay, we're in Perth City with Ted, and it's Resurrection Sunday, Easter Sunday, and we're beginning a new project called Imagineering to a Better World. So would you like to see a better world, Ted?
Yeah, I think everyone would like to see a better world.
Yep. So what can you see if you imagine a better world?
If I imagine a better world, I see one where people get a chance to grow, where they can feel connected to the other people around them, where people are at the heart of the world, not kind of peripheral to the world.
Okay, great. And how can you see a solution towards that? Like, what could you do today or this week or this month towards doing that?
I think one thing I could certainly do is just see people, and start relating to people. Where you see people down the street, you don't just ignore them, try and avoid eye contact, you just say good morning to them. It's amazing the difference that can make to someone just to say, hi, how are you doing?
Great. And would you be happy today to write it down, to have your vision, your solution, and then sign your name and date to it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great. That's as easy as it is. So the strategy with Imagineering to a Better World is to imagine, solution, commit, and partner. So who would you say is going to be your accountability partner to make sure you do that?
Oh, that would have to be my wife.
Okay.
She would make me do anything.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's sign you up now.
Okay, and that one was really exciting. Oh, what's happening there? Hang on, it's just sorry about that. Okay. I had hoped that Ted's wife Pascal actually may come on as a table talk guest, or at least one of them to do a message. We tried to connect, we've sort of been toing and froing with a few people, especially from Perth. But we'll see over the week maybe that we can get some of these things happening. So, but that was just awesome to just, look back at what, Ted was saying, and it hasn't really changed. So that's how it started. And also some other highlights that happened that year. There was multiple seminars happening at different places. We joined the extravaganza at in Churchlands. And so there was, again, I had a wonderful team of, videographers and photographers and everything. It was just brilliant. So especially the first year or two, had quite a few people volunteering. And yeah, so just very similar. So actually, I am going to come back and show you on the homepage of the website, just where you can look at the strategy. Okay, so let's come back to share screen. So when we come back to the homepage of the website, we scroll down, and so these buttons I haven't changed since the very beginning. So we've got the vision, the story, the wish, and the strategy. So here's an example of one of the banners that we make. So this is usually what I do. Could be in a school, in a church, in a market stall, really anywhere. So, or a seminar, even in a workplace, where we create an Imagineering to a Better World banner. Sometimes people draw pictures, sometimes they do words, but it's as they're going through, they're adding the vision. So that's an example of a banner. And then here, this is the strategy. So especially once you have your partner, you can even take them to this website. There is a short version of the website, im2.tv. So rather than having the Imagineering to a Better World.com, which is very long, it's im2.tv. So that's all there. Another couple of highlights that happened in 2013 was I used to write and do articles for Golden Pen magazine and Golden Pen for Christian Women. So Hayley Solich, she was just so important for the very first few years. We were trying to work out when she could come on, and we were supposed to record last weekend an interview. Hasn't happened yet. Hopefully we can have that happening. Yeah, so it was super exciting. So I hope you've enjoyed just hearing about the beginnings. Now I just want to explain what it will look like for the next 10 days. So each day we'll sort of be looking back and celebrating where we've come from. So today obviously was the very beginnings and 2013. And we want to be looking at the impact. So, yeah, so we'll just be looking back and celebrating where we came from. There'll be people with some celebration messages or perhaps joining for a table talk. They could be friends of Imagineering that they've been involved somehow. Maybe they've been a guest on one of the podcasts or the YouTube channels, or they've been part of one of the courses. They may have been a speaker at an event, or they may have been a student of one of the courses or something. So there'll be just different people. So I'm actually doing a few recordings tomorrow, which will be, they won't be live with the person, but I'll play it as part of it, just like we've watched videos today. And hopefully there will be some more live ones. And it'd be lovely if you can join, because of the changes and people's timetables and different things, and also because I'm still trying to confirm speakers. My preference is to have the people coming on for table talks coming on live. So we'll see how that goes. That's why we haven't got a schedule up yet. So just, yeah. Okay, so over the time, looking back, celebrating, looking at the impact, getting some celebration messages or table talks. And then we also, one of the reasons we're looking at that is because what started off really simple has turned into books and podcasts and, basically the whole media, like multiple programs and mini series and blogs and so much more. So we're just sort of showcasing bits and pieces about what we do and also what's coming up, because that is super, super exciting. So every day we'll be seeing little snippets and looking at what is coming up for this year and also beyond. So I hope you've really liked that today. I've been really enjoying going back, looking at some of the old videos, especially from the first couple of years. It has been such a wild ride. Yeah, it's a big thing, and there's been a lot of support, but there's been a lot of opposition as well. But maybe we'll share a few of those stories as we go along. And yeah, but it's for me, it's about, like I said, receiving the love of the Father and just being able to, once we can receive the love, we can be shining the light to other people and then encouraging people, bringing hope and also helping them to actually have a vision, because we know without a vision, people perish. And especially at the moment, there's a lot of people without hope. There's a lot of people without vision. So that's one of the reasons I thought I took up the challenge of the 10 days of lives, and, got some friends coming in as well. So thank you so much for joining, and I will see you tomorrow. And remember, we can change the world one day at a time, one person at a time, one decision at a time. Bless you.